welcome to Gladiators, where we debate literature in all its forms. If it work, it's game. And so I'll be the panel.
I'm Nick.
Hi, I'm Jesi.
I'm Sara.
And I'm Dan. And today we're doing Death Note, one of my favorite animes and mangas. Alright, who has the discussion starter?
I do.
Right,
so, I think it's already known that we've all seen or read basically all of it. I'm going to try to keep it to just the first volume. When it comes to Light, I'm going to bring up the whole morality argument. He talks about how, if somebody is asked in class, is killing wrong? You're automatically going to come up with the response, yes, killing is wrong because that's what society expects of you. Do you guys feel the same way? Do you feel like most people are going to say, yes, killing is wrong, despite whether or not the person deserves it?
Oh, here's the thing.
Yeah.
In Light's case, I kind of, according to Volume 1, I agree with him. People who, commit murder, rape, pedophilia, all those people deserve nothing less than death. So, if I had a Death Note, I would write those names and things, have them die. I would not feel guilty about that at all.
You'd be like, I honestly have to say, I would probably be like Light in that sense too. I don't have the right to pass judgment, but, you break the law.
Yeah, the things there's
you
people
kill
who
someone, you take their life, your life deserves to be taken.
Yeah, that's things it depends on who I am killing. I'm not gonna kill an innocent person, Nick may have said that I have stupid hair, and I kill for that. That would be wrong.
But once you have the power of something, though, you might not think you'll do something, but then the ideas start creeping into your head. All right, I could do this, or I can do that. Mm-hmm. Once the option is there for you on the table, it's like, wait a second, this is closer to me than I realize. I can do some stuff.
Do you think he gets carried away, when Lind L. Taylor comes up?
We're talking about the first one.
Yeah, when Lind L. Taylor, on the TV, when L confronts him, and it's actually a criminal, he's testing him. Yeah. Do you think he gets carried away with that?
Absolutely, because he didn't think it was a criminal. He thought it was L. He's killing someone that's not. He said he would only kill criminals, and that's not a criminal. And
yeah.
He even mentions that if he had to kill his own family, he would, and that's clearly going pretty far out of bounds with his.
Things like that. That's the thing. Is Light. He has a good intention, but the way he goes about it is not too great either. So the thing is, I can understand killing criminals. That much I can understand, because criminals are criminals. They do bad things, such as a criminal would kill someone if given the option. So the thing is, getting revenge on them would be a good thing, because honestly, the thing is, if someone killed someone, I would want to see that criminal be hung, or the thing is, be killed. However we kill people today.
Mm-hmm. Death penalty.
Yeah, death penalty.
Yeah,
Alright, so the thing is, I'm okay with that. The thing is, I'm not going to spoil anything from the book, but he kind of loses that later on throughout the series.
The power gets to him.
Yeah.
See, I also agree with you guys. If I had the ability to do this, I would only focus on the negative people. The murderers and the rapists and all that stuff. And I actually even came up with a thought, if they really want to kill that bad, send them to war. Make it, what's the word?
Make the most out of the situation?
Yeah, make the most out of the situation. If they want to do it, then go let them do it. But just not here.
Yeah.
Now, I know a lot of people would kind of bring up the argument, too, that a lot of people are wrongfully imprisoned. Do you think that kind of makes a difference in what he's doing, or how you feel that what he's doing is right or wrong?
Absolutely.
It's true. Yeah,
sure...
but you don't really know who's wrongfully imprisoned, though.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, I'm sure the majority of these people did commit these crimes, did murder these people, but
yeah, I think
there
for the sake of the story,
right.
Yeah, we have to
but there could even be one or two slip by where they killed out of self-defense, and then the situation was viewed in a certain way. There's got to be at least a few of those. You don't know for sure, but it's very easily to see criminals in black and white, good and bad. Criminals are bad. And it's very easy for a person to see themselves as having good judgment and make righteous decisions like Light. But there's all those little tiny, minute little things that fall through the cracks. Maybe this person was framed or something of that nature.
I like the sashimis that
The
follow.
Shinigami.
Yeah, that word.
Yeah.
That word.
I love
Sashimi is
Ryuk.
like a raw fish with like
Yeah,
without rice.
that's a sushi.
You know where my mind's at. I'm
Like,
hungry.
imagine just having that, like, that
thing
thing
just
following you around.
Yeah, but Ryuk is cool though.
So,
I love
all
it.
right, first off, all
I'm
right,
saying, no, I wouldn't.
let me say,
not like it.
the only thing that I liked
Maybe
about
you
the
just give him
Netflix
apples.
adaptation was Willem Dafoe as Ryuk. That was the
Yes.
perfect casting. Everything else was terrible, but that was, I feel like, the perfect casting for
Yeah.
Ryuk.
Do you want to say it loud on camera? The things that the
Willem Dafoe was the perfect casting choice for Ryuk. The only good thing about the Netflix adaptation of Death Note. And I'll say it
99%
again
of
at the
it
top of the mountain.
And we find out that they really like apples.
Yeah.
well, Ryuk
Well,
look apples.
Yeah.
Ryuk likes apples.
I mean, they say, hey, I'll stock up on apples just to keep my Shinigami happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Gotta keep him happy.
You know, unless he write my name. I don't know, can they write in there?
yeah.
Okay.
I think he says at the end when Light dies, he says, I'll write
Spoiler.
your name in my
Yeah, spoiler.
note. Well, no, but he says it right there. When it's your time to die, I will write your
Oh,
name.
right.
Yeah, no. Not a spoiler. That's what he says.
I want to add that a
I'm
little
just
bit.
going by the material.
I'm telling you, that's what Ryuk says.
Yeah. Also, another point I want to bring up. I know this isn't the discussion starter, but this is one I want to bring up. If you came across a Death Note, would you ever use it?
I don't know.
Uh,
Can I just say?
And if
I
you
am-
will, who would be the first person you would kill?
So, here's my answer. It's not going to be a very straightforward answer, because I like to think of myself as somebody who wouldn't be able to take another life. Not unless I absolutely had to. Like, if somebody was attacking me and I had the gun, and I absolutely had to, then that's what I would do. But if I stumbled across a Death Note with the instructions, I don't even think I could even test it out like Light did. Like, I don't even think I could bring myself to be like, well, what if this is real? Let me try it. Like, I don't think I could do it.
If I
really don't think I could.
I'm on the same page. If I was like, I wouldn't be able to write a single name in that book.
Just in
Unless-
case it was real.
I'm very skeptical, like Light was, and I would probably test it out to see if it's real, not believing it'll work, and then find out it does work. So I might have the same story of him, like, get a god complex, but the thing is, I would probably test it out just to see if it works.
Like, if I was told that I had to test it out or something, I would have been like, and this is going back years, like, assuming maybe, like, Osama bin Laden wasn't dead, then I'd be like, alright, well, he's a really bad guy, so let's try Osama bin Laden, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, I can't even think of anybody else in my head who's, like, so bad or so evil that I would just be like, well, let me try it.
Well, the thing is, like,
You know?
Ryuk just dropped it just to see what would happen if a human found it. You know, so he really didn't have any side on whether or not Light used it or not.
Yeah.
He
makes
he's
that pretty
completely doesn't care.
Like, if I found one, I mean, I would pick it up. I don't know if I would use it. Like, I can't confirm or deny that information.
Yeah.
But, like, that would just be cool to have.
Be like, look, guys, this on my bookshelf is
I
a
do
Death Note.
my-
I
Hey
don't know
guys,
if it
go
works.
check this out.
I don't know if it works, but I have it on my bookshelf. I own it.
I can't confirm or deny that it works.
Yeah.
Let's
So-
just say don't get me angry.
So then,
Well, I don't
another,
wanna be
I guess, opinion question. So, like, one of my favorite scenes in the anime and in the book is, like, the first, like, right after you meet Light and, or not Light,
My favorite
L.
was the potato chip scene.
The and then I'll grab a potato chip and eat it. And he's, like,
So dramatic.
so intense over a potato chip.
Yeah, sorry to
No,
interrupt.
yeah, no. One of my favorite, like, I feel like it's the perfect, like, scene. I was even talking about a little off camera where they show L and Light, like, face to face. Nobody can see, and it's just like, I am justice. In your opinion, who is justice, Light or L? Who is doing the most good? L killing, or L going after Light, or Light getting rid of and cleaning up the earth of criminals? Who, in your opinion?
L going after Light, but he's not. I mean,
See, it's hard.
See,
Who is justice?
my outlook is, at first, Light is doing good. Like, he's sticking with his goal and just killing the criminals. But L has been doing it for so much longer that he's gung-ho on just sticking with criminals, because, I mean, later on, Light does have a little like the power trip and things happen and people that are criminals wind up dying.
Yeah.
And like I would choose L, honestly.
Me too. Here's the thing. I do believe that L and Light are heading towards the same goal.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way they're going about it is radically different.
Yeah.
Like
I said, L's been doing it for years.
by like the justice system, the police, and stuff like that. He's going it by that way. The legal way that you're supposed to do it.
Right.
But Light is kind of going it like in the rogue way. Where things like they should all be killed.
Yeah.
Kind of like if we met like a cop and Captain the Punisher. Like. The Punisher would do things his way, the thing is, and the cop would go.
I mean, kind of like you said, he's playing God.
Yeah.
And I think that's what
But I would
gets
have
me
to go
so
with L on that.
passionate about this whole thing is because or let's say it wasn't a supernatural power. Let's say he was a mass vigilante, some of our favorite superheroes, and he's going out and he's killing bad guys. Would we still see him as a bad guy? Or would we see him as a good guy taking care of things that the justice system can't take care of?
Well, he'd be more of an
And it's
an anti-hero.
Yeah, an anti-hero. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's like I feel like Deadpool is a very good example where he just goes out and he's like killing bad guys.
I think the spandex is where it's like, all right, you're wearing spandex, so you're good.
If
Light was wearing spandex,
your underwear on the outside.
Yeah, but the thing is, Loki wears spandex in the comics. The thing is, he's a bad guy. Well, for the most part, I mean, there's a part where he's a bad guy, and a good guy, and dead, and a woman, and a bad woman, then a good guy, and then a guy again. I don't know, his story's weird.
Yeah.
Loki in the comics is very weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
He goes for sex, he changes sex at one point.
It's 2019, so it's okay.
Death Note. Off Loki and Norse gods. Death Note.
Shinigami's, gods.
That's Japanese though.
So gods.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think this is just such and I said it before again off camera that I feel like this is one of those storylines that and shows or books that I feel like everybody can read and enjoy just because of what it's about. You don't have to necessarily like any manga or anime. It's just one of those storylines that everybody feels passionate about one way or another. Yeah. And I haven't met a single person on this planet who doesn't like death, who has started and finished and didn't like it. You have?
I actually
What's
have
wrong with them?
I don't know.
I can understand not liking Walking Dead or Game of Thrones.
He feels like it's too, he feels like it's kind of like it's too teenage angst, kind of Which don't get me wrong, I saw this when I was originally 16. All right. The thing is, I was a teenager, but the thing is, I watched it again when I was 23, and I still like it.
I've watched it over because I think the very first
I'm not gonna put him on blast.
Don't.
But the book is a young adult's book, so it is more aimed towards the 16, 17, 18 up to
and
like 20,
even though the
21.
protagonist is a teenager, that doesn't necessarily mean the target.
Not to mention, the anime had a heavy metal intro.
No. Yes, so I can see his point, or her point, whoever it is. But if you think about it, he's 17, he's going into college, he's practically an adult.
Yeah.
Alright, and he's trying to,
I was one thing, but we do see the character age throughout the other volumes. Mm-hmm. So, I think at the end he's 23 years old.
Yeah, so he is an adult, and it's just, and I think Elle says it perfectly in one of the later volumes, is that he has a very childish view of justice.
Yeah.
Which is true in a way, but again, you also can go and talk to any adult and say, hey, this person murdered 20 people, what do you think should happen to them? And they'd be like, death
they have
penalty.
an opinion on it.
Yeah, and I feel like this is just one of those things that everybody would have an opinion
It's
on.
kind of reflective of, your values and your opinions.
Yeah, and I
everyone's
feel
got
like
something to say about it.
who, based on your opinions will depend on whose side you're on, and I think that's what makes this so, because the characters are so, they're
Team Jacob and Team...
it's not even that. It's just I feel like they're good, maybe not overly complex characters, but they have enough depth to them that, maybe their choices are right and some of their choices are wrong. It's you might not necessarily agree with everything they do, but you're gonna, disagree with, they're just good characters doing things that I feel like some people in this world are capable of doing.
We do learn more about the Death Note and the Shinigamis later on,
Mm-hmm.
That the thing is, Ryuk isn't the only Shinigami with the Death Note. All Shinigamis have Death Notes.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, I'm not gonna spoil anything because I know they don't go too much into this volume. But we do meet another person who has a death note, and we do meet another Shinigami later on.
Yes, and I mean, they even cover that too, like at the beginning of this book, it's like, oh no, he dropped his notebook, what's he thinking? Like,
Yeah, no,
you
he just
know,
wanted to have
there's-
fun, basically. You know? He's
I mean,
bored.
I guess if I were a
Because
death
like, he
god,
mentions,
and
you
I were
can't,
bored.
like, he writes, like, you can't write another Shinigami's name in the book, they won't die.
Yeah. It's, I don't know, I think it's such a great story, and it makes you kind of, because, I mean, all the questions that we just asked each other are questions that in the last 12 years that I've been a fan
2003.
of Death Note, I have asked myself in one way or another, like, if I ever found a Death Note, what would I do with it? Or
Yeah.
who is my favorite character? Like, who do I agree with more? And you know what, to this day, I still couldn't tell you if I like L more or if I like Light more, because I don't know.
Well,
I love
he's
them
like,
both.
Light was, like, he's so likable in, like, the very beginning, like, his idea of justice is, like, something that, you know, okay, it's a little bit extreme, but you can agree with it, you know, criminals deserve
And you
to
can
die.
understand it.
And
And the thing is, here's the thing, is that it's just so interesting because L is so smart. Oh, I mean, Light is so smart for, like, you know, which is not very common for many anime characters. They use stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not wrong, yeah.
He is very smart for his character. The thing is that it's just so amazing to see, like, all the mystery and intrigue of, like, him doing this stuff and getting away with it. And things, all these other people catching on to him and him being able to evade them and switch the story around. Alright? And the thing is, yeah, he like, the thing is that he does make some big flaws, but it's just so amazing just to see how everything, you know, like how it goes about.
he thinks
Because
so.
it's kind of part of the mystery. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. No, sorry about that. No, he thinks so highly of himself. I think that's part of his social standing in school. Like, he gets like a date with a girl, just a phone call really quickly. He needs to use her on the
Yeah,
bus.
he's definitely very egotistic.
Yeah,
I
and
guess is a good
that
word to
helps.
describe
I'm the
aids
god of the
him.
new world.
Yeah.
Yeah, that helps aid him in
Gets the
writing
power
the names
trip.
in the book.
Yeah.
Like,
I
not
think-
everyone would be able to do that so easily.
I'm not sure how I would do the Shinigami eyes though. That's one thing I'm not going to be able to do.
Oh.
I wouldn't mind.
You have 10 years of your life left. Or,
Or
100.
it's half.
Half
I think.
of like your lifespan.
Oh, yeah, half of
Yeah,
your
so
lifespan.
it's like if you're supposed to live for 10, you trade 5
5.
years to get that. I wouldn't be able to do it. But I what else I really like about this book too is it pits two very intelligent people against each other, and then you're never really sure if like something happens because
and the thing
somebody
is,
planned
they're
it or
both
if it was an
shades of
accident.
gray. You don't know who to root for.
Exactly, and that's what it's such a good story book thing. Like it's just so
Storybook
good.
thing.
Yeah, it's a storybook thing.
Just say manga.
But yeah, well, but like I said, even if this were not written as a manga, I feel like it's just something that people just would enjoy because it's so like you're
There's
it's
lots
just your
to talk
flip flop.
about.
Yeah.
Yes,
And if you're ever intimidated by reading a manga, like, it's not like difficult to read. You know, the book is just backwards. You know,
But
like,
you
I don't
know
know
how
if that intimidates people, but you know,
Which-
like, it just goes the other way. That
I even tell
Yeah.
people that the anime really isn't that far off of
Yeah,
the book.
it really
so
isn't.
even if you don't want to read it, just watch it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
You can watch it subbed and dubbed. The dub is actually pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not bad.
shockingly, we don't get to say it often about.
I mean, I can't watch sub because I suck at reading.
I like to do things while I'm watching
Ah,
TV,
yeah,
so I
yeah.
have to listen to the dub. But yeah, no, I feel like the storyline's good, the characters are good, and like I said, you know, you have two very intelligent people like pitted against each other, where they don't know what each other look like, they don't know each other's name, but they still have to find each other in this country,
And
in
they're
this world.
constantly seeking, like, I want to know what they look like.
And then there's things that are happening where he's like, yes, that went according to plan. Or it's like, oh, he makes a move. And it's like just a giant game of chess where you're trying to get to, and it's very, I guess, riveting as well. Just watching them try to make moves to get closer to each other and
Like a
figure out
game
who
of
each
chess.
other are. Exactly.
From like a writer's standpoint, do you see as revealing more information about the Death Note and like the rules of it as a crutch to the story, or do you think it's like very well planned?
I think it kind of adds like a little bit of lore because like okay, if we didn't know all the rules of the Death Note, we want to understand like the thing is like what are the rules of certain killings and stuff like that. Because like say if Light kills someone, right, but doesn't imagine their face, it would be like okay, well why didn't this person die? You wrote their name. Okay, but the thing is the book says you have to think of the face. All right. also the thing is, how elaborate can the deaths be? So the thing is, I think adding in the things that there are rules to a Death Note shows the thing is that, okay, it kind of helps us understand things in case of, like, he has to make, like, a desperate move and write something,
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a crutch either, because, again, I mean, I think you're right, it's interesting how they place the different rules, and I think, in a way, it can kind of seem like a crutch, because it's like, oh, that's a rule I didn't know about, and it's like, so I get how it could be seen that way, but again, I mean, there are so many different, like, if you just write down somebody's name and they die, okay, well, what if you want them to die a certain way? Well,
yeah, some people have the same names, like, just when I go on Facebook, I find, like, 10 different people with my exact same name.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and I've also found, like, several different Jessica Colemans.
Yep, yeah, no, I'm everywhere, all over the country. So, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a crutch. I think, I think it makes it, again, the story more complex. And it shows you how much you can do, and it shows why the story gets so complicated. Especially past Volume 1, when it does get complicated. And if you don't have all those rules in the back of your head, like, oh my god, how is this gonna happen?
Yeah,
like,
that's like a bit overwhelming.
Yes. So, I mean, I feel like the rules give it a little bit of structure and help you kind of follow, like, what's going on, what's allowed, and what isn't. Yeah. You have any thoughts on that?
Alright, so, any final thoughts?
Potato chips. That's not even
Take
it,
one
but yeah.
and eat it! Like, that is,
Alright, so,
yeah, so
starting with
intense.
Nick, what kind of rating would you give it out of 1 through 5 stars with half stars per minute?
I give it a 4.5. I really enjoyed it. The artwork is amazing, and the storyline is really good.
Yeah, I've loved this series since I was like 17, so I have to go with a 5. It is one of my favorites. Like we said, the artwork is amazing. I feel like the story is complex, but not too complex that you can't follow it. And, again, my favorite part, L versus Light is just, it's so fun.
I really want to give this a 5. Nothing is perfect. But the artwork is fantastic. It's so clean and consistent and nice. I'll give it a 5.
I give it a 4.5 because the thing is, it's a really good manga, it's a really good anime. Unfortunately, it's not my favorite manga, but it is my favorite anime. And the thing is, I don't know, it's just so good, and like the imagination of it is just so amazing. And it's so dark too.
And I give lots of props to the author who came up with this very like intelligent storyline. Like it's, I mean, we kind of see it in other like in other stories where you have something like it, but I feel like nothing quite compares to Death Note.
Yeah. All right, Slap. Look.
Oh no.
What the? What the? Oh, Josh, you killed me.
Oh, I didn't. Larry said that this was meant to keep things a bit more organized. I didn't think we'd kill people.
Oh, sure, blame me.
You know that you had something up your sleeve.
If somehow these guys come back to life, be sure to see us next time on Literary Gladiators.
And for now, keep reading.
Hi.